welcome to our New Year's special. So, we decided that we wanted to be a little bit festive. We are a bit behind in being able to do a Christmas episode. So, we decided we're just going to do the New Year's episode. So, how are you, Jasmine?
I'm good. I'm excited. Do you know what? I'm really looking forward to 2025. I feel like it's going to be a good year, and I feel ready for, like I often feel ready for a reset. And right now I feel ready for a reset, a pause, and time to like think and restart. What about you?
Same. I mean, 2024. Literally, what a year. I mean, so many great things happened, like this podcast, but
Yeah.
also so many things that have not been great. And I am really, really looking forward to a fresh start and hopefully a better year in 2025.
Yes. And we all need it. Like, there's times in our life where we all need that. We all need time to like pause, reflect. I think, to be honest, no matter what kind of year you've had, like if you've had hard times, good times, it's just important to check in. And I feel like it's a good time to remind yourself to check in with yourself and feel happy for the things that have gone well, and to have moments for the things that haven't gone so well as well, and accept and sit with those things and plan for good things in the future.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I really love every year. I mean, I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite time of the year, I will say, from all of the different seasons. Christmas is my favorite time, and I'm always really excited when Christmas hits and all of that. New Year's is something that I do celebrate with my family, like kind of like more than Christmas itself. So doing the whole Christmas resolutions, New Year's resolutions, and all of that, I really like doing it. I don't think, though, every time that I've had some New Year's resolution, I have stuck to all of them. But I mean, I started the year with lots of resolutions and with a lot of attitude towards like a great year and just getting them done. But at least, some of those got fulfilled.
Yeah. And I feel like I've learned a lot over the years about, I feel like especially when I was younger, I did used to set like these huge goals, or just like I used to have unrealistic expectations of myself. I think like I was going to go into this new year and I was going to be transformed, and everything was going to be totally different, and I was going to all of a sudden want to wake up at 5 a.m. when I've never been a morning person, or whatever things might be. And I think as I've got older, I've learned how to set more realistic goals for myself, to accept some things. Obviously, I'm not saying you can't change certain things, because you can, but just to do it in small stages. Because I think we all know when you go like head first and try and do everything different straight away, it's so hard to actually maintain. So now I like set little goals for small changes I can make over time. And I feel like I have a little bit more success with that sometimes, not always.
I mean, life happens, right? Like there is many things that we might intend to do in the new year and change, or like as you said, like small changes, and then life happens and we are not able to do them. But we shouldn't really feel bad. I think we're all on the same boat. It's all of us going through exactly the same thing, setting up those expectations and then not being able to meet the expectation we have set for ourselves. But that's okay, like at least you had the intention, you maybe took some of steps towards it, and then if it didn't work out or something happened, that's perfectly fine as well.
You know what? I feel like one of my favorite things to do now is I do like vision boards. Because I feel like rather than setting solid goals that are like I have to do this specific thing, I like to like set a bit of a vision for myself of how I want things to look and feel. And I feel like that's easier to check in every so often and say, is this aligned with how I want it to feel and how I wanted my life to look at this point? Rather than like I'm gonna, like the amount of times I've had like I'm gonna drink so much water every single day, and I've always been rubbish at drinking water, always. And it's just, I know I'm not gonna stick to that, which sounds like the easiest goal ever. Whereas if I set like more rounded things like that, I feel like it just encourages me to work towards something that's more of like a loose goal.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm the same with the water. I even bought once back in the day, one of those huge bottles that had like by 9 a.m., by 10 a.m. Look, I didn't even make it through the
No.
first side of the bottle. It's just not for me. But so I do like the idea of creating that vision boards. I think that
Mhm.
will be really good. I might try to do that myself as
Yeah.
well. Maybe we should do like a session, like another episode just on vision board and
Yes.
visualization. Because
Yeah.
this year I did have my vision board put as a screensaver on my phone,
Mhm.
and it didn't really work out. So I was like really annoyed and removed it because I was like,
Yeah.
nothing happened, everything went wrong. That's not good. And I removed it. But I'm determined to try again.
Yeah. I think that's why it's important for them to be. Well, everybody's different. Everyone approaches different, but I like them to be loose. Like, I like it to be, like if there was a certain thing. So I wouldn't necessarily put on my vision board like a specific trip, for example, because then I'll be
Mm-hmm.
annoyed if I don't go on that specific trip. But it
Yeah.
might be that I want to travel more and
Mm-hmm.
have certain types of travel experiences. So I put things on there that are inspiration, but that I'm not going to be annoyed if they don't.
Yeah.
Like you say, so it's not like, oh, if I haven't done that specific thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
at least I've had that like vision, like of my life, and I can, even if I can't do the specific thing, I can do something similar
Yeah.
and make sure I've created that mood for myself, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Trying to set up this microphone so you can hear me. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about like New Year's resolutions. So do you have any already in mind?
Not yet. However, I do think a general like theme that's especially happened since I've been in my 30s is quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Is something that I live by more and more, and I shift towards more and more every year. So I've always been somebody who wants to have it all, do it all, be everything, do everything, achieve
Yeah.
everything. I feel like slow, steady
Mm-hmm.
increments is my way forward.
Yeah.
So I think for me, there's a big focus on and being more selective about the things I want to do in 2025
Mm-hmm.
and pinpointing. Obviously, I still have my international Ms title until
Mm-hmm.
September next year, which is when I'll hand over. And I think there's almost a pressure sometimes, and this doesn't just apply to pageants, this applies to everything, but feels like there's a pressure to be doing a lot all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep reminding myself that I would rather do a few big things with big impact and like really go all out on a few things than try and be doing loads of little things every single weekend.
Yeah.
So for me, moving into next year, I feel like I'm having bigger visions of the stuff I want to do that I want to do throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm focusing more on making those things happen and feeling okay with the little bit of time in between those
Yeah.
things. Whereas I felt a lot of pressure, not just in pageantry, in life, to be doing stuff all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's definitely a change that I'm trying to make.
Yeah. To me, it's very, very similar because I feel like this year, 2024, obviously I was competing. We were doing the podcast called like really successful, really quickly, like things that we didn't really expect. And I felt like I was out every weekend. I was just driving around the country, going to places, going to events and things like that, because I thought that's what had to be done. In a way, like then I had like my diagnosis on June. That kind of like threw me off a little bit. Got engaged July, but then got my surgery in August, then competed at International Miss, had my first IVF transfer, and just recently got the miscarriage. So I kind of want to take 2025, exactly as you said, very slow, spending as many weekends as I can at home, kind of like centering a little bit more on myself and taking care of myself and just be more grounded within myself and focus on that next goal, which to me will be being able to have a successful IVF cycle. So it's going to be like exactly what we said. Like this year, I said, I'm not going to be a people pleaser. Actually, like said no to many things, which in other circumstances, I would have been every weekend, every evening, everything doing things for other people. And this year is just gonna be more about me. And literally, I think the only two events that you're gonna be seeing me at will be the International Miss, like that weekend, and a Universal Woman, just because I have a friend competing. So those will be, I think, the only 2 weekends that I am going to travel kind of like far-ish. I will go to your content day as well, but it's not going to be the same as I used to do before. I think this year is just all about me and enjoying my house and getting my house sorted, because let's be honest, when you are working full time Monday to Friday and then out every weekend, well, my house has been a disaster. It's not been as clean as I wanted to. I haven't finished certain things that I did in my house. So that's going to be, I think, my main goal on 2025.
We are just like crazily aligned always.
Yeah.
So, because literally everything you said, like my house for one, like we moved into our house. I think I was only a month out from having Mila when I moved in, heavily pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then Liam ripped out all the kitchen. He was putting in a new kitchen when we first had her, all of that sort of stuff. And none of the rooms are finished. I mean, there's been huge progress in our house. And I put a lot of work into everything that I do outside of obviously being a mum and everything still, but then also a lot of my energy goes into all the external projects and stuff that I work on. And I feel like I've come to a place where it's like, okay, there's got to be a balance here of what I can achieve.
Yep.
And also like be able to do these things that need to be done in my own space. And I think that time and focus on yourself is like so important. Like you said, like being able to center yourself and just have time at home, because for me I feel guilty when I'm not here, because obviously with having Mila, so when I'm at home I'm with her all the time, so I don't have time to be doing all the other things that I might want to do, decorating a room, like that's just never going to happen. And then the times I could be doing that, I squeeze in every single thing I can to be out there doing the things, like other things I feel like I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And that's why 100% for me, it's like I would love to do a big thing once a month, whether that's obviously now that I'm directing International Miss UK, whether that's an event with my finalists or the workshops with my finalists, the actual final, and then some of the things that I want to do for myself for my last kind of hurrah in pageantry, because you never like to say never, because you just don't
you
know.
don't know
I don't
what's
think
gonna come at some
I don't
point.
think I'm going to compete again. So I want to make the most of having that as well. But like I say, I'd rather do one big thing a month that really means a lot to me and feels significant.
Yeah.
And have the balance of getting other things done, because life keeps going. The actual life keeps going. The house still needs doing, like just like you said. And I just now Mila's getting older as well. It's really important to me that she's just like, I mean, our house looks fine as it is. The main rooms are done, but I want the house to be like an amazing place to be, you know?
No, I feel exactly the same. Like I've been in this house for 8 years and I still have like, well, you cannot really see that, but that light over there doesn't even have a lampshade. It's just like the cable and the bulb. That's all it is. And that's like the majority of my house is like that. I mean, we can live in the house and everything like that. It doesn't need to be perfect and beautiful, but it just got to a point where and there is nothing wrong with that, like you're focusing on certain goals, you're just out there, you're doing things, but then other things that you want to do as well, they don't get done. So I think like it's okay then to say, look, I've already achieved certain things, now I'm going to concentrate on all the part of things and get that. But I feel exactly the same. I really want my house to be homey and like like a place that you want to be and you're happy. Every room that you enter, you feel kind of like cozy and good.
Yeah, we're both in our like nesting at home eras.
To be honest, it's just one of the things, like when COVID happened, so when we were in the pandemic, I know it was very hard for some people, but I absolutely loved it because I could just do everything in my house that I didn't have time to do before because I was out all the time. So I literally removed the carpet from my whole house and I installed myself laminate flooring. I started doing lots of things in the house, and I really loved it. And now I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh my god, my balcony is falling apart. Like I was like, we need to change that. Oh my god, we need to do this. Oh my god, we need to do this. When do I have the time to do it? Because
Yeah.
I mean, unless someone that is listening wants to give me a lot of money so I can still do things outside of my house, but pay someone to come and do those things in my house, I'll be happy. Let me know. I'll give you my bank account. But until that happens, or I win the Euro Millions or something like that, I don't really have money to be able to pay to someone to do certain things. So
Yeah.
yeah, 2025 is the year of coziness. Let's say
Yes.
coziness.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna have to do like updates on these things as well now.
Oh yeah.
Now that we're talking about it, because one of the big things, well, one of my first goals actually, then really, when we think about it, is my office because we've
Oh
been talking
yeah.
about
Yeah.
this.
You've mentioned that a
So
couple of times.
yeah, so Mila is moving out of her room, which is currently the smallest room, into this room, which is currently a dumping ground, but it's the medium-sized
Yeah.
room. So we're redecorating this bedroom for Mila. And then I'm gonna, luckily, her bedroom's lovely and panelled, half panelled, everything my husband did for her room. Her room is by far the nicest room in the house. It just shows where your energy goes.
Yeah.
Her room is lovely. So we're gonna have to do this one nice, and then I'll be moving into there, which for me is gonna be a huge thing because obviously I do run a business and everything as well, and having a space that's good for creativity is, I think, is really important. So it'll be nice to be in there, and just have a nice space for me as well.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. I mean,
Yeah.
let's see how many of the things we end up doing. I think we
Yeah.
should do like an update every quarter to see
Yeah. Yeah.
how we're doing. And I was like, guys, there's still no lampshade in there at the end of the year, which
We should,
could possibly happen.
we should do like 60-minute makeover
Oh yeah.
and do some like
Yeah.
quick renovations for our houses and film it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you have any other goals? I haven't asked you, what do you have anything else that you're thinking about?
Well, I think because, as I said, it's all going to be in the house and everything like that. One of the things that I struggle with the most is my house tidying up. So I want to now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but that's my biggest resolution. Try to create some kind of a schedule. So every day after work, I do something, like one little thing. I need to start planning like what those little things will be during the week, because there are times that I am like exhausted after a whole day at work, that I am like, I cannot start vacuuming the house, But that's gonna be my other goal, kind of like getting something done every day to keep my house a little bit more tidy, and then I don't have to spend like a whole morning on a weekend cleaning the house.
Yes, we are the same person, because last January I did a spreadsheet of,
Send it.
well, I did a spreadsheet of Monday to Friday over 2 weeks of jobs to be done around the house. I don't think I ever followed it once for the whole of this year.
That probably will be me as well. But I mean, the intention is there. The intention is there, right?
But I am bringing it back. And another thing that we wanted to do in our house, which we didn't end up doing, was me and my husband wanted to have a Sunday check-in every Sunday, where we like looked at what was coming up in our lives, or things that needed to be done. Do you know, just like random booking in your MOTs?
Yes.
Like jobs we need to get, like bigger jobs we need to get done around the house, or like personal goals we both have, but checking in with each other to see how we can support each other with things we're trying to get done or whatever.
I love that.
Yeah, and so we didn't do it. We had all intention, we often discussed doing it, but also because I find it really hard to get things done, like tidying around the house, I find it really difficult, because I prioritize other things sometimes when I know other things need to be done. So using that day to check in with how, like, so if I left some pots in the bedroom and then Liam said to me, are you going to take those pots downstairs?
Yeah.
then I just feel annoyed and like I
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah.
take them downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Even if I was going to take them downstairs, I would
Yeah.
then not want to do it.
Yeah.
It's like a teenager. It's a very bad trait of mine. But I feel like most people,
Cheers to that. I'm the same.
I feel like most people feel like that because we don't like being told what to do, right?
Mhm.
So the idea was that if we do this weekly schedule, that when we have this check-in on a Sunday, we can both have the chance to like look at what the schedule and then say what we did this week, so that it can be done in a more positive and productive way. So that on a Sunday, it's almost like I would, rather than him having to tell me that I didn't do something, I can look at the thing and I can say I didn't do the washing this week.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm aware of that, and I'm gonna it's on the top of my mind. I'm gonna do that tomorrow or something. And it was a way for us to check in with each other in a way that was productive and not felt like we were nagging each other. That was the plan. So we're gonna retry it. I've all intention to try again from January, so we can also update on that.
Oh, please send me that spreadsheet. I'm gonna try that as well with Ollie. I'm just gonna try to do that check-in. I think that sounds lovely, and especially now that I'm not gonna be out that much, that should be good. And it's gonna be so difficult for me to say no, I'm not going anywhere. No, I'm staying here this weekend. So I'm just gonna be like, oh, no, I wanna go. I wanna do it. No.
Yes.
No, you can't.
Well, we have to hold each other accountable with that as well. And I think it's good to say yes to some things, and there's going to be things come up that you want to say yes to. I think it's making sure you do saying yes for the right reasons is the most important thing. You know, sometimes you think, oh, like I really like that person and they're doing an event and I really want to go to support them. Although maybe you don't even really feel like going out that weekend, but you feel like you want to be a good person or a good friend and go and support. That might not be the right reason to do something. As much as it's nice to obviously support people as much as you can, you've got to think about like, what do I need right now? And I find that hard, and I know you do as well. So I think that's something that's really important to do.
So hard because like there is so many things that I've seen this year. I was like, God, I so want to go, but I know I need to. I need to take care of myself this year. I think in 2025 that's gonna be me. Taking care of myself. So I am literally going to cut my hair. So it's going to be a complete new rebirth of myself.
You're cutting your hair?
I am.
Okay, what tell us, what's the plan? How short? When is it happening?
Like this.
Nice.
Let me
see.
You
know what? A bob?
Like this, like short.
That would really suit you,
like short, and like curtain bangs.
Yeah, that will really suit you a lot.
So that's what I'm going to do because, well, apart from obviously say like, okay, this is going to be completely new year, new me, rebirth kind of thing. I am like, I'm tired of always having my hair the same way because my hair is thin, but when it's long, it's heavy. So then it doesn't hold any styling. And I don't have the patience either to style it. And yeah, I think short hair is gonna be the way.
Yeah.
And let's see. So soon you will see me with short hair in the podcast.
That's gonna look really nice. I think that's gonna look really nice. I've had a bob quite a few times, like very short to like here. And I like it and I find it much less maintenance. Like right now, if I wear my hair down, even just for half an hour, it mats and knots at the back. Especially in the winter when you're wearing like jumpers that are high up here or scarves. I feel like there's friction on my hair and it just like tangles and mats all the back of my hair up. And brushing it is such an and I keep being tempted, but I'm holding on because I feel like my last, while I'm still
you need to wait. You need to wait until handing over.
I thought I'm going to hand over and have my all my hair on stage and everything for my handover, and then I might cut it after. But yes, I'm all for the short hair.
It's like, to me, like as I said, like I remove the carpet and I have laminate flooring, and with 3 cats and my hair. My house, and apart obviously, as I said, like I'm not cleaning as often as I want it to because of life, right? And not life, because one, like being out every weekend. It's just like you see the floor and you're like, oh my God, I need to vacuum again. I have just vacuumed, but I need to vacuum again because like one of my hair, because it's so long, it looks like a ball already. So when I wash my hair and then I'm drying my hair, so many of the like my hair keeps falling.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so it's also like another reason why I decided to cut it. So the little balls of the desert like goes like
They'll just be
are smaller.
tiny. They'll just be tiny little ones.
Yes, exactly.
I totally rate, because we have a dog, which he's actually on the landing and he keeps crying. So
Yeah.
you might be able to hear that in the background. But he's not allowed upstairs, so he can go as far as like our little top of the stairs, little landing bit, and then there's a stair gate so that Mina can't fall down the stairs. But it also stops him from coming in the upstairs. So luckily it's only downstairs. But his hairs get everywhere. And I can literally hoover, and I'll go down like half an hour later and I think,
It's full again. Yeah. What happened?
nightmare.
Yeah. Like, why do I even bother, right?
Yeah, luckily the bits of the house, so the carpeted rooms he can't go in. Only the like downstairs is mainly all tile, so it's not that bad, but still it's not fun.
No. Sometimes I wonder, like, how did my mom keep the house clean? Or I just didn't even, maybe, I didn't even realize, maybe, because I was a teenager. I was, like, not paying attention to things.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I know. I think the way forward for me is, this is another goal of mine, really. I've always loved minimalism, and I've like leaned towards minimalism so many times, like cleaned out and like not thrown away, but donated things, removed things, and I've just done it even more. And over time, I have got less and less stuff. One thing that I still have a hell of a lot of is clothes, because of pageants.
Yes.
So I'm in the process. I'm going to be selling most of it, because I'm just going to keep what I'm going to wear until handover, and then I'll keep my few of my favourite to rewear at later dates. But I'm getting rid of most of that. And I just feel like the more minimal you are, the easier it is to keep tidy and clean and everything.
Yeah, of course.
And now moving forward with the renovations that we're doing to the house as well, I never used to think with the mindset of upkeep. I just think of what I'd like that would look nice and stuff. Whereas going forward, I feel like I'm making a lot more choices and thinking way more about how easy is it to quickly tidy, organise, clean and upkeep over time. And those things I think make a big difference.
Yes.
Like, I think just planning in advance and just making life easier for yourself as much as possible by making things so that they're as easy to maintain as you can.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's like Ollie's all about that. He doesn't want anything in the house, and I love lots of things. But obviously having the cats, there's many things I used to love candles. I cannot have candles anymore. But that's helpful, because then the candles, like, you don't need to dust them or anything like that, because they're not there or anything like that. But yeah, I do agree with that as well. Like, the least amount of things that you have, the better. Or when you're gonna buy something, just really think, is this going to be more work, even though it looks nicer, or not? Just go like that. I need to do a proper cleanup I did a cleanup of one of the cupboards in my kitchen, and I'm like, oh god, what is in these other ones? I am gonna tackle them on the new year. But there's already a huge donation pile I have here, like, well, you cannot really see, but the bed is full of dresses and outfits for me to sell as well. And then the other bedroom that I have over there, I was like, I think most of that is gonna go. Like, all the stuff that we have in there. I'm gonna have to go to the shed, see what we have in there. Like if I have not used it in the last year, like, I clearly don't miss it.
And that's what's going on with this room that I'm sat in now, that says like the junk room. It's actually got significantly less stuff in, because I've been getting rid of loads of it. Because actually this room has been like a storage room, and I've lived here for 3.5 years, and I've barely got anything out of here.
It's like you just keep adding things.
So it's like, why do we have this room of stuff that we don't even go in? And if we're not going in there to get it out, like, what a waste of space. Like, we need to get rid of the stuff. The one thing that was in here that I did use every day is that I have like it's not a triple, like a wardrobe, like a 4-door wardrobe, so a big wardrobe, which is the other reason that I'm getting rid of a lot of my stuff, because when Mila comes in here,
You need to remove that
in
wardrobe.
our room, the only space for a wardrobe. So we've got a very big bedroom, but then a lot of it is window. So I
I
can't
see.
put anything on those walls. So the only real space I have will fit like a large double wardrobe. And that's for me and all my husband's clothes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to get rid of it because there's literally, I'm not putting it in Mila's bedroom. And
Yeah.
I want my office to be nice. So I'm not going to just like put
Yeah.
it in my office for no reason. So
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm also all for that. I even like decided this year, like I used to have like all my clothes together, like summer clothes and winter clothes, because I didn't have many clothes. But then I realized that everything gets like it's too crowded within
yeah,
my wardrobe. So I'm like, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna remove the summer stuff
yeah,
from the wardrobe, put them in one of those like bags that you suck the
yeah,
air out, put them away, and then in summer I get them out and put the winter downs out. I'm just kind
yeah,
of like do like a proper thing like that because
yeah,
I feel like many times I get overwhelmed just by looking at
yeah,
things and I don't know how to where to start basically,
yeah,
to be back into like a good space.
yeah. You know what would be a really interesting and fun thing for us to do? A capsule wardrobe challenge. Because have you ever
Oh,
watched like capsule wardrobe videos and stuff? I love them.
yes.
Where you do like a 21 piece
Yeah.
wardrobe and then you just wear those items for however long and see how
Yeah.
many different outfits and stuff you can make from it.
Yeah.
Because I've always, like, to be fair, I probably do that for the most part. Like, the
Yeah.
things I actually wear on a day-to-day basis and mix and match is quite a
Mm-hmm.
small group of stuff.
Yeah.
But I would love to do an actual challenge where I can only wear certain things and see how that goes. And I think that would be great for women over 30 because I
Yeah.
feel like you've refined your style a lot more by this age.
Mm-hmm.
That it would be easier to like find things that represent your style and be able to mix and match.
Yeah, I like that. I like that
Yeah,
idea. I've been wanting to do that for a long time.
yeah,
And then I ended up buying like lots of stupid things.
yeah. I do the same. Right, okay, so what we need next year, we don't really need goals, we need bands. We need like
Yes.
shopping bands,
Yeah.
going out bands, not like that sounds bad. Not going out anywhere at all. Staying in the house.
Curfew, weekend curfew, man. Weekend curfews.
Prison. We need to go to prison. But I feel like we need to reduce those things. Like
Mm-hmm.
make a conscious effort to reduce the amount of things we go to, reduce the amount of things we buy and stuff. It's more about like setting
Oh, yeah.
limits for ourselves and making the most of the things we have already.
Yeah. I mean, you just said like, stop buying things and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna save so much money, but not leaving my house on the weekends.
Yes.
Because petrol is expensive, hotels are expensive,
Mhm.
tickets to pageants are
They've
getting
got very
expensive, and
expensive.
some of them they're quite pricey. Food out because obviously you are not in a house where unless you're in an Airbnb, you're gonna eat out and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be rich.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to pay
Yeah.
someone to do things in my house.
Yeah, that's the thing though, isn't it? Even if you can't pay someone to do something, it's just paying for like whatever you need, the paint, and it's
Yeah.
not cheap to do
No.
anything in your house,
Paint. I
really.
need to paint my house actually. Thank
Yeah,
you for reminding me. I have
that's your
to.
list.
I have to paint my house. We're gonna be DIYers at the end of the year.
Yeah. So, if you're ready for DIY content, not leaving our houses in 2025, we'll be able to record loads more podcasts because we're going to be in our houses every day.
It's gonna be the year we stayed in at home. Like the pandemic 2.0.
Yeah. Well, you know
We're
what?
putting
I
ourselves
feel
in a pandemic.
Yeah, well, like what you said earlier, like I know obviously the pandemic was horrible and hard for a lot of people,
Yeah.
but I really did enjoy the being forced to stay at home part because I feel like you're saying about reconnecting with yourself. I feel like I did in that time
Yeah.
hugely because I was so focused on moving forward. What's the next thing,
Yeah.
and I was forced to stop for the
Yeah.
most part, and it was so healthy for me. And that's when we decided to have Mila as well. I wouldn't have even had her if it hadn't have been for the pandemic because we hadn't been thinking about it. And then because we had the time to sit and think, is how we came to the decision that actually this is a good time and it would be nice to do that now. And then I feel like the excitement of being back out of that meant everyone was doing loads.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've just like not stopped since. And I do think, I do think it's the time to pause again. Yeah.
Absolutely the same. I literally, like, after the pandemic, I started like most of my weekends, it was like either makeup work for bodybuilding shows, when I was like working from 4 a.m. until 6 p.m. every Saturday, for example, or every Sunday, depending, plus, traveling and everything like that, or an event or a pageant. And that hasn't really stopped until now, really.
Yeah.
So it's time now for a decompress, relax, check in with myself, and, get back to basics.
Yeah.
And then 2026, we can go back and party again, if so.
Yes.
Or who knows, maybe not, but.
Yeah. And I guess then on kind of like a last note for this, I feel like it's okay if your goals for the next year aren't big and flashy and huge goals. Sometimes the most important things are the simple little things that we can change or do, and listening to yourself and what you need at that time. We obviously both feel like we need some more of that, and I think it's good that we're listening to it and not just thinking, got to keep going, because I think a lot of the culture nowadays, I mean, don't get me wrong, like there are still goals in my business and stuff that I want to hit, but I want to do it in I just want to do it I want to do it like it's not a race. It's how I feel. I just want to do it at a nice pace in the next year. And I do think there is a culture of like this hustle culture. Don't stop, keep going. And I think when we're getting fed that all the time, it's important that we do listen to ourselves if we feel like we do need to slow down. Whatever your goal is this year, whether it is something huge or whether it's, something you need to do. Yes, being a prisoner for a year, whatever it might be.
That's
very it's good. Any goal is a good goal if it feels right for you, and don't compare your goals to other people's as well.
Yeah, that is very important. Don't compare your goals to other people's, because your goals are yours. And if you try to change them to relate to someone else's or what you're seeing on social media, I'm pretty sure like everyone will start putting their New Year's resolution very shortly on social media. And sometimes we get caught up with like, don't have any like this. Should I get something like that in my? No, just do you, whatever feels right for you, and that is it.
Yeah. And when we put out this episode, and if you're listening to this, then there'll already be a post on Instagram about this episode. So go on, comment underneath and tell us what your goals are, because that would be nice. And then we can revisit in a later episode and have a look at everyone's goals and discuss it.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
That'll be very, very nice.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure. I've had a lovely time.
Yeah, me
too. And I finished my glass, pretty much.
Mine is bigger.
And thank you so much to everyone for listening, as always. I hope you are happy that we're back with season 3. This is episode 2, so you'll have heard our little welcome back. This is our second episode of the new season, but we have loads of good episodes. Many of them we've already recorded, so spoiler alert, they're very good. It's very exciting.
God. Yes, this season is going to be fire, and season 4. Like, I think we're already preparing season 4, and that's going to be even more incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everybody that is listening, for everybody that wants to participate in the episodes. And as we said, we always say, please let us know what type of content, what do you want us to talk about? Because at the end of the day, we're doing this as well for all of you guys.
Yes. So make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok at Female Striving Over 30. If you want to see us in all our glory, we have headband hats today for New Year. So if you want to see us, you can also go on YouTube and search for the name of the podcast, and you'll find the full videos on there to watch. And we will speak to you all very, very soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.